In this context, there's no disrespect, so when I bust my rhyme, you break your necks. We got 5 minutes for us to disconnect from all intellect and let the rhythm affect. To lose the inhibition, follow your intuition, free your inner soul and break away from tradition.
Welcome back, Von Steuben Panthers. We're so excited to start a 2021-2022 school year. We have a few slides to cover for you today, but we're so excited you're back. First off, we're going to start with a really fun, welcoming ritual. Always remember at Von Steuben, we are always positive. Right now, we're going to practice some of our positive participation, even though we're always responsible, inclusive, determined, and show effort. Right now, we're going to participate. So I'm going to ask everyone in class to stand up. Right now, currently, in real time, stand up. So when I ask a prompt, I'm going to ask some of you to sit down based on your answer to the prompt. So to start off, if you like salty treats more than sweet treats, please sit down now. Some days you're ready for some jalapeno chips, other days you might want a Snickers. But if you like salty treats more than sweet treats, sit down now. Okay, stand back up. Now, if you traveled to a different country, sit down. If you traveled to a different state, sit down now. If you went to a different city, sit down now. I'm sure a lot of us are sitting down. Feel free to share out a couple of places you got to visit this summer. Hopefully we're vaccinated and traveling safely. Everyone stand back up. Go ahead, shake out your legs. If you had a summer job or participated in summer programming, if you did our freshman connection or sophomore connection, if you volunteered for some of our sports or activities, or if you had a fun job this summer that you got to do, go ahead and sit down right now. Our last prompt, everyone stand up, get ready for our last prompt of the day. If you are excited to be back, please go ahead and sit down now. Welcome back, Panthers. Continuing on, some of our important expectations that we spoke about just briefly. Positive participation. We are always positive and we participate in class by being supportive and caring of others. Always think before you speak and make a positive contribution to the Von community. Our Panthers are always responsible. It is our collective responsibility to make sure we're following health and safety protocols, as well as being prepared members to be productive in our academic community. It's always important to be inclusive, to respect and listen to one another and learn about all of our voices, our cultures, our identities in our school and our community, and celebrate our strengths and differences. We are always determined to continue to advocate for ourselves, for others, to learn from our mistakes, and to never give up. And we always show our effort, whether it's through electronics or in person. Our electronic device is always needed. Always be sure to stay focused and avoid distractions by only using your CPS Chromebook and using it appropriately. We don't use our personal devices, so we can make sure it is charged every single day for class at a full battery. We do not permit cell phones, and so let's keep those out of sight, out of mind, and check our CPS email and our Google Classroom and our Aspen every day as needed. And if you follow all these expectations, you have the opportunity to get acknowledged by your peers, win some cool swag like your Von Steuben mask. You can win a couple other prizes, whether it's a t-shirt, Von gear, a homework pass, a gift card, or off-campus lunch. We recognize our Von Steuben Panthers who exhibited the most pride every Friday. So show your pride this week so you can be included in our newsletter and win some Von swag by this Friday. Ms. Sutton is going to introduce us some people to know, places to go, and some great opportunities at Von.
Great, thank you, Mr. Regan. So now we had a little opener with each other in our division rooms. Thank you so much for paying attention to this video. We wish we could be in person together all in the assembly, but you know it would be impossible for us to social distance if we had every grade level each day in there. So we're using this video platform to give you some important information. So there's a lot going on at Von Steuben, a lot that we offer. To start off, I just want to introduce our administrative team. Again, Principal Sutton here, a proud principal. It's my 8th year at Von Steuben. And this year I have the pleasure of working with a resident principal, just kind of like a medical resident. We have a leadership resident. Miss Raquelis is joining us. And Assistant Principal Hallberg sends out that newsletter. You always hear from her, lots of information. Assistant Principal Regan is helping us with athletics and making sure that you are covered with your social emotional supports. And then our Assistant Principal Urbina, you will always be in contact with him during the testing season and in terms of like AP, any support you need with AP classes and beyond. So those are just some of the things that we do, and we're always here for you. So please reach out. So at Von Steuben, we say 3-point opens doors. And why do we say that? We really want to encourage our students based on what we know really leads to more opportunities for you. Is we know that your grades are the foundation for that. And we want to work as much as we can to make sure we create the most supportive environment for you to achieve that. So when we say 3.0, we're talking about the unweighted GPA. So whether or not you're taking honors or an AP course or a different level course, which has a different weight for those letter grades, really focus in on what is the letter grade that you're achieving in those classes and really strive to get a B's or better in all of your classes. If you don't get a B or better in all of your classes, make sure that you're balancing it out. Like you get a C in one class, you get an A in another class, you know, just really keeping a sharp eye on that 3.0. So whether you've joined us through the college prep program or the scholars program, we really want to hope that you'll be able to choose a pathway that will help you to focus on your future goals. We also hope that you will level up wherever possible to take at least one college level course before graduation. And you can do that through advanced placement, dual credit courses that we offer here at Von Steuben, and then dual enrollment where you actually take classes at another university or college, mostly through city colleges. So did you know that if you earn a 3.0 or higher, you actually qualify for more things? So athletics, for example, college courses, as I mentioned already, when you take a college level class, actually you have to place using your GPA. Class placement, if you want to go into a higher level course, what was your grade in that class before? College acceptance, more universities are looking at grades. Job placement, programs also have a GPA requirement, and scholarships. City colleges is just one of the universities or colleges that offer scholarships based on GPA. Did you know that City Colleges offers the STAR Scholarship, which is a full ride for any CPS student that has a 3.0 or higher? So again, colleges are looking at grades. Some schools are test optional. You don't even need to submit your SAT or ACT scores for your application. So grades are important. And your involvement also speaks volumes. And when you're applying for any programs, you know, how are you pursuing your interests and exploring something new so that that helps you to imagine your future. At Von, we really want to prioritize support for college and career starting your freshman year. So freshmen, again, your grades are super important. Your involvement is also important. We want to make sure that you're connected, that you have at least one adult that you can feel connected with as well to seek support if you need it. Make a regular habit of checking your email. And also get to know your counselors. They will be popping into your classes for lessons, and that's a great time to ask questions. But if you have individual questions or any concerns, you know, please reach out to your counseling, go to the counseling office, and Ms. Plowd will connect you. Also, sophomores, you know, again, keeping on track, continuing to do the lessons that we offer through our counseling team through Naviance really leads to building your plan for post-secondary. Also, you can start with Khan Academy as junior year, that SAT score is going to be really important for your college applications. Juniors, again, continuing that progression, try to take at least one higher level course, and also choosing electives to match your interest. And then our seniors, this is your year, right? That's a lot going on in the beginning of senior year. So you should be working on your research for colleges, creating your college list, completing your applications, writing those essays, or polishing up those personal statements, getting ready for some interview preparation, filling out FAFSA, doing your scholarship searches, and then understanding those financial aid packages and making your college choice. That's really a lot in your senior year, but you have so much support and we're helping you along the way. And some of the things that we do at Vaughn to really make sure that you have those opportunities and that you can continue to go along that path, prep work and tutoring. You're going to see sign up coming soon. So again, check your email, look for signs, listen for announcements. Learn, Plan, Succeed lessons. Those are activities that will support your plan after high school. We'll be doing field trips, college visits, site visits. These are real world experiences, ways that you can really do your investigation and learn more about the interests that you may want to pursue in the future. Service learning projects are a graduation requirement, and those are offered through your courses. So a service learning project is another way for you to meet your requirements, but also learn more about real world connections and the ways that you can make an impact in this world. Forge programming is something you're going to hear a lot more about. So lots of opportunities through Forge to get connected, find your interests, and forge your path. Actually, I want to just shout out, we have Ellie Tellez, class of 2020 is our new Forge site coordinator. So you'll be hearing from her soon. So speaking of support, our counseling team is your prime support for anything, college, career, thinking about your future, but then also any worries that you may have, any situations or challenges that you're experiencing, reach out to your counselor first. They're your first line of support for connecting you with maybe someone to talk with, or those opportunities that they know will be a good fit for you and really keep you on that right path. And of course, we have our student support team as well. Our deans are in 110 and 308. Dean Hoy, Dean Vasquez, and Dean Rivera. They're here to support you. You know, of course, what is it that you maybe want to see in our school life, student voice, school pride, connecting you with clubs. And the student support centers where you can go to manage anything that you need, attendance, forms, fees, Ventra, IDs. That's where we're going to do our Pride winner announcements. And when you're late to school, we have a great team in 110 to support you. And then our counseling suite. Please speak to Ms. Escobar-Ploud when you go in, or use that QR code to make an appointment. And I just want to, before I move on and the next presenter starts, I just wanted to emphasize that, you do have rights as a student, and it's our responsibility, all of the people at Von Steuben, your teachers, the security staff, the leadership team, counselors, and all of the other support staff that we have here at Von Steuben. It is our responsibility to make sure that you're protected and that you feel safe. So the Student Bill of Rights you'll find in the beginning of the Student Code of Conduct. It's like the preamble to your rights. It's based on the Declaration of Human Rights, which is a global document that really covers like the universal rights that we all should have. And this is just a list of those rights. I'll just read it really quickly. Anti-bias, anti-racist. Each person deserves dignity and respect, no matter what their background or beliefs. Free public education. We should be addressing your needs, both educationally and also with your wellness and health. Your right to speak, advocate, organize, and participate. You have a voice, and you have a voice at Vaughn, and we'll be sharing more on those opportunities for you to be a part of this great community we have and to plan for what is most appropriate for our students. Health, nutrition, and personal care. Again, your physical and mental well-being. We are here to support. Fair consequences. So we do have rules. We do have rules and policies, but we also want to make sure that we follow restorative practices that really support you to just do the right thing. Safe, secure, and supportive school environment. So if you ever feel like your rights are being violated, if you feel like you have been in any way, your safety or your health has been at all affected by another individual, whether a peer or an adult, it is your right. And please, speak out and report as soon as possible. And that's really your way to make a connection with an adult in this building who you will see will be behind you 100%. So your teachers, your counselors, or anyone on the admin team, support staff, we're all here. So please, if you see anything, you feel a certain way that you're not comfortable, or you feel like you have been abused in any way, please reach out to us. And now I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Urbina, who's going to talk about our schedule.
Thank you, Principal Sutton. We are all super excited to see all of you back in the building. And we oftentimes will talk about how different this year is going to be, because half of our students or so really haven't really been in the building and haven't really acclimated to what it is to walk the halls. So we wanted to kind of hit a few reminders, talk about what this week is going to look like, our schedule, health and safety responsibilities, our policies and expectations, and Panther Pride. We're going to be talking a little bit about that in the sections to come. So starting off with specifically our schedule. What does it look like this week, and what does it look like after that? Monday through Thursday, we are going to start off every single day with division. That is an important space where we will be meeting and doing different kinds of activities and things, but most importantly, we really want to make sure that we are turning in those forms. They can be completed online or in paper and be submitted that way, but we are asking that you make sure that we complete these as soon as possible. You'll notice on the Friday schedule on the top right corner there, it's a little bit different. The division period is now in between second and third period. It's significantly shorter, and that's actually going to be your routine Friday schedule throughout the course of the year. To talk a little bit more about these packet inventories and required forms, all of these forms, we are asking that they be completed and submitted no later than Friday, September 3rd. We came up with a really great way to bundle these forms by grade level. If you wanted to do them electronically and just sign them all that way, you can also, when you receive your forms, you can submit them again to your division teacher. There's a list of the forms that you'll be submitting there. And then the COVID vaccination record, we only want your copy. We don't want the original. We want you to keep the original. We can also, we're going to be sharing out information about how you can even electronically submit a copy of that by just taking a picture and emailing it, or submitting it via a Google form. So after that first week, our Monday through Thursday schedule is going to change a little bit. We no longer have our division period to start our day. It's going to be 51-minute periods with the exception of second period. And then you'll also see that on Friday, again, we have our division for 16 minutes. That's going to be between second and third period. So it's super, super important, because it is such a short period, that you get there on time. Schedule changes. We have all within counseling team, admin team, teachers, we've all been receiving a lot of emails expressing interest in changing your schedule. And I know we all have very valid, good reasons for this, but we want to be very explicit in this expectation. We are not doing any schedule changes unless one of the three criteria is met. One, you've taken and passed a class already. Two, you are a senior and you need a class to graduate. Or three, the class conflicts with your 504 IEP guidelines. If one of those three is not a concern or reason for your schedule change, regardless of how important it is, we cannot adjust or make changes to our schedule. There was a lot of organizing that took into place that we took into consideration. Your preferences that you listed at the end of last year. So this is what your preferences were. We did our best to meet that, just because of trying to minimize the number of students per class, per room. We just cannot reinvent everything in a short amount of time. So we hope you understand. We will definitely offer additional supports if you have issues, but we will unfortunately not be able to make any changes. Once you arrive into the building, what will you need? Okay, so we are going to make sure to have your book bag and your planner. It's super important to be organized this year. Also, we have Chromebooks. Another thing we want to be super clear about, if you have your own laptop at home, that's going to have to stay at home. If you have your own iPad, that's got to stay at home too. Only your CPS assigned Chromebook is allowed to jump on our network, to join our network. That is for security reasons, to keep, make sure that our network is being maintained and secure. It's super important that you also take responsibility of this device, not only in its safety and condition, but also ensure that you're coming to school fully prepared by charging your device and bringing your charger if it's not fully charged. You have to make sure that that is a responsibility that you start to be fully aware of. It's also important to bring your student ID. You must swipe in every day, so it's super important to have your ID, and it's going to help with our contact tracing when, hopefully it doesn't happen, but if we do have some kind of COVID concerns in the building, that's going to help us do that contact tracing. Face mask. It's a statewide policy. We're adhering to that. Anytime you're entering the building, your face mask should already be on. And we'll be talking a little bit about that throughout the course of the year and everything, just reminders, but there's proper ways of wearing it. It should be covering your face altogether. Okay, so it's not cool to like poke a hole in your face mask. It's not cool to just have it hanging down your ear. If you're in the building, your nose should not be exposed, because there's this interesting biological thing where your nose is connected to your lungs. So, the COVID can still be breathed out, exhaled and inhaled that way. So still making sure that we have our masks fully worn. As you see on the bottom right corner, the way it works, we want to make sure, if you have those like surgical masks, you'll notice there's like a little metal strand. You actually want to make sure that you're pressing down on that metal strand, so it creates this nice clasp and seal. And the bottom of the mask should be covering your chin, not just the bottom of your lip, but all the way down to the underneath your chin. That's how you know if you have a mask that fits properly. If it does not do that, then your mask may be too small and you may need to consider purchasing a different mask. So one more time, I want to be super clear. Say it after me. CPS Chromebooks only. We are not bringing in our home iPads or our laptops or anything like that. No personal devices. Making sure that we are fully charging those devices so that our tech co, Mr. Maselli and Ms. Hallberg, do not have to, in the last minute panic to figure out a new solution for you while we're doing other things. So super important. A little bit more around entry. We open the doors for students to enter at 6:45 a.m. We would love to have you all in no later than 7:20, because as we all know, classes start at 7:30. And we are doing something a little bit different this year. So be super mindful of which door you are entering. If you're a senior, you get to come in through door B, which is that the entry over by the Kimball on Kimball, but the northernmost entry. If you are a junior, you're coming in through where the gym access, or when we have sports events down on the south side. It's on the Kimball side, but on the south side of the building. And then if you are a sophomore, you're going to be coming through the back, or the courtyard side, and you're going to go up towards the north of the building, the side entrance. And then if you're a freshman, you're going again through the courtyard, but you're going straight in through the main center entry that you'll find there. Now, if you get here early, if you're, for transportation reasons or what have you, if you're here at 6:45, where can you hang out? Well, there's a few places that you can hang out: cafeteria, auditorium, student center, and library. However, you cannot and should not be hanging out in the hallways. We are trying to maintain the hallways free, just to minimize contamination and also minimize any kind of interruptions that we may come across. So we want to know where our students are at all times for your safety and for the safety of your peers. So when you are actually physically entering the building, what do you need to do? What should you be aware of? This is kind of your mental checklist. Is your mask on completely, fully, and properly? Remember, we talked about nose to chin, right? We don't want something just covering our mouth and that's it. It's got to go from nose to chin. You're going to go ahead and submit for a temperature check. That gives us instantaneous feedback as far as whether or not there should be any kind of concerns around COVID concerns. And then scanning your ID. So you enter the vestibule, you're going to go ahead and scan your ID. And all items should go into your backpack for x-ray. This includes your cell phone. Let me say it one more time. Your cell phone should not be in your pocket. Your cell phone should be in your book bag and sliding through the x-ray machine. That'll make our entry process significantly quicker, so much easier, and easier to facilitate for our security team. You're then going to walk through the metal detector, and if you have your cell phone in your book bag, it won't go off. So that's the beautiful part about it all. So I was describing for you a little bit earlier who is going in what door. Ms. Hallberg did an awesome job with this graphic. As you see on door B on the northern side of the building, on the Kimball side, that's where our seniors are coming through. Door D as in David, we have our juniors entering in that red section. Our sophomores are coming through the courtyard on the northern side of entry doorway, which is our courtyard entry. And then our freshmen are going to walk straight through into the center courtyard, and you'll be entering that yellow doorway that's displayed there.
All right, everyone, we are back. I'm so excited we're going to be all in the building again, but we do need to make sure that when we are in the building, we are being smart and we are being safe. So there are some few health and safety things that we need to go over. So the first thing we need to remember that it is our collective responsibility to keep each other safe while we are here at Vaughn. So a quote that I like is, "My humanity is bound up in yours, for we can only be human together." So together, we need to make sure that we respect each other, that we take care of one another, and that is, we are only as strong as our weakest link. So I want you to look around at each other and say to each other, "I respect you, I care about you, therefore, I will make sure that I make smart decisions that will not only protect myself, but you." Now that was a lot. So, repeat after me. I promise to do my part, to keep both myself, and you, safe and healthy. All right, so let's figure out how we do that.
We're going to take on a few of our health and safety protocols from multiple angles. So each added precaution adds another layer of safety and support for you and your peers, our teachers in our community. The first and most important step is vaccinations and testing. We'll review some of our safe practices, how we keep lunches and hygiene, even when we're not able to eat while masked, and then when to stay home, because sometimes we just need to not come in, and how we can support you when you're at home. So let's get into it. Our COVID vaccine is authorized and FDA approved for ages 16 and over, and accessible for all people ages 12 and over. We can do, our vaccines are available at Roosevelt every Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It is only, and you can receive a $25 gift card for receiving your vaccine, which is free to get, and you get a free gift card. At Von Steuben, we are hosting vaccines on September 10th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. There is a written consent form that will be passed out to each of you. Lastly, we will do our COVID testing weekly just to be safe. It's accessible to everyone and free at the point of test. Do it for yourself, your peers, and your family. During our lunch periods, we opened up another period for lunch this year just to make sure everyone can remain safe, sound, and socially distanced. We'll have lunches during periods 3 through 8. We can also eat in the courtyard when the weather is permitting. We'll wash our hands, clean our own space after we eat, and then we will have spaces where we can take snack breaks throughout the day. Things we do all the time, everywhere, all the time, no exceptions. We always wear a face mask from nose to chin. Bring our own water bottle. We have multiple fill-up stations. They're extremely convenient. They're environmentally safe, and they kind of keep us energized and keep us working even in all this heat. When we're using the washroom, please try and make sure there are no more than 2 people at any given time. Remain 3 feet socially distanced everywhere possible. Keep your hands to yourself. Let's not do any high fives, handshakes. I love a good head nod or a hand wave. Work on some of those new signals for one another when you see each other in the hallways. Lastly, no eating or drinking unless it's in a designated approved area for eating and drinking. Here are a few pointers for when to stay home. As always, our CPS health screener is required every day. Please mind each of the questions and answer them honestly and truthfully. If you have COVID symptoms, please stay home. If you're waiting a COVID test, if you've been tested positive for COVID in the last 10 days, if you are unvaccinated and you have been exposed to COVID, traveled to another state, traveled to another country, and lastly, if you are vaccinated and you travel to a foreign country, please get a negative COVID test. Until each of those items are answered truthfully, please stay home.
All right, everyone. So we do have some policies and expectations that are super important that we follow. This is to make sure everyone is safe, that everyone is productive, and we are able to learn while we are here at Von. So let's get started. All right, so we're going to go over 4 key areas today, and that is what we need to make sure we have every day, what we make sure we do not have every day, and our attendance policies. So first and foremost, every single day you need to make sure you have your face mask. Not just have it, but you need to make sure you have it on. So there is the mask mandate. It is the law. So we are not just having you wear your mask just for Von's sake, but it is the law. We want to make sure that you are safe, that your peers are safe, that your teachers are safe. So please make sure you have your face mask and that you are wearing it at all times, and that is covering your nose and your mouth at all times. This is to make sure everybody is safe. It doesn't matter if you're vaccinated or not. We need to make sure we are wearing our masks at all times. Second of all, we all either got our Chromebook last week or we are getting it today. You must use your CPS Chromebook. You cannot bring your personal device. Again, this is a safety issue. So please make sure you are bringing your CPS only device. You need to bring it every day. Please bring it fully charged. It will be a lot easier if you remember to do that. So when you get home, plug it in while you're sleeping so it comes fully charged, but bring your charger along with you so that if you need to, you can charge it during lunch or towards the end of the day. And then last but not least, bring your This Year ID. It has a lot of new things on it. It lets you know what door you have to come in. Remember, we're using 4 doors this year by grade level. It has your new division on it. A lot of the divisions changed this year. So make sure you have your ID. You're going to need that to get into the door. So you have to scan it. That is for a lot of different reasons. That's for contact tracing, attendance, all those things. We really need to make sure you have your ID. You have to swipe in to get into the building. You also need it for your lunch. And you also need to have it anytime you're in the hallway. So please make sure you always have your ID with you and they are able to produce it if asked. All right. Just don't. Please. Let's just have a great year. We're finally back in the building. Let's not have to deal with these things. Let's just be excited that we are back here and we're together. Cell phones, we've been on devices for the last 2 years. That's all we've had is screen time. We don't need our cell phones. There is no need for them. You have your Chromebook. So everything is a red zone. Let's say it again. Everything is a red zone. The only time you can be on your phone is when you are in lunch, and that is it. So your cell phone should be out of sight, out of mind, out of earshot any other time. So that phone should be put up and off in all classes. We should not see it. We should not hear it. If we do, we will take it. You won't see it until the end of the day. And we don't want you having to serve detentions for it. We don't want to have to take it because we know it's like your third arm. So just put it away, turn it off. And this includes your headphones. So don't like hide it with your hair, put a hoodie on, because then we have to deal with that. Just put it off, put it away. There's no need for it. Don't say, oh, but what if my mama needs to get a hold of me? There are walkie-talkies, there are speakers into the classroom so they can call the main office and we can get a hold of you within 5 seconds. There is no need for your cell phone. Drugs, vapes, alcohol, no. Again, please don't bring it, don't eat it, don't sell it, don't smoke it, don't drink it, don't wear it. None of that. I don't want to see it, I don't want to smell it, I don't want to see you chewing on it, I don't want anywhere. We know it all, don't bring it. Don't do it before school, don't do it during school. At all. Don't tell me, oh, but it's legal now. Not for you. Don't do it. And last but not least, again, this is super, super important. And again, this is not just your safety, but those around you. Coming and going. Please, please, please do not let your friends in through doors that are unauthorized. Please do not come in unauthorized doors. Again, this is for your safety and the safety of others. For contact tracing, this is for all sorts of different security breaches. You may only come in through your door during the morning entry, and then after that, the only door that you can go in and out of during school hours is door B, and that is it. I do not want to have to deal with consequences and things like that, so please, 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 if you come late after 7:45, you are going through door B. If you have an early dismissal, you are going through door B, and that is it, door B. Don't go through any other door, no exceptions whatsoever. Please, for your safety and the safety of your peers, have respect for their health and their safety, and do not come through any unauthorized doors. Attendance. Super important, you guys. We have not been here for a very long time. We have a lot to catch up and make sure that we are building these strong relationships and we are getting back into the game. So please be here every day and in every class on time. We know, though, that there are certain things and circumstances that we might not be able to make it to school. So we have to be smart about that. If we are sick, we need to stay home. But it is very important in those instances that we actually make sure that we are calling to let us know that we are not here, or that your parent is filling out the absence form. It is very important for contact tracing or for truancy. If you are missing 5 days of unexcused absences, you're going to get the truancy letter from the state, and that is not good. So please make sure that if you're absent, that your parent is filling out the absence form so that we can make sure that you're getting the correct attendance log. Tardy. Be here on time. That is the easiest, and we don't have to deal with anything else, but if you are tardy to school after 7:45, like I said, you're going through door B. If it is very late, then we're going to immediately call home right away so we can try to figure out how to support you in order to get you to school on time. Tardy in between classes really shouldn't be an issue, so we just need to get you there. But if you rack up 20, it's an after-school detention immediately. So let's just not do that so you don't have to waste your time after school. To help you make sure that you can just get straight to class, there are no more tardy machines. We're not lining up. We're not having the excuse of, oh, I have to run around and try to find a tardy machine. There are none. No tardy passes. Go straight to class and follow your teacher's tardy policy. So get there, be on time. Let's do this.
Give me a P. Okay. If we were all in the same space, it would be amazing to go through this awesome pride activity with all of you and cheer out to show our pride. But since we're all in individual classrooms, it probably won't work today. But I'm so excited to be here with you this year. I'm excited to learn all about the pride that you have for your school and be involved in all these awesome activities that we are going to tell you about in these next few slides. So first, before we get into these awesome activities, we have to talk about your responsibilities here at Von Steuben. Participating in school events is a privilege, not a right. All students must be in good standing to participate in school events. And that looks like passing all classes, all of your detentions are served, meeting graduation and school compliance requirements. So all these three things are really important for you to be able to participate. This slide is a sneak peek to show what's to come this quarter and this year, some awesome things that we're working up for you. So excited to participate in homecoming with everyone. There's going to be some great student voice events and ways for you to participate throughout the school. The next slide here shows all of these amazing student club opportunities for all of you. So anything from the men's club to the a cappella club to the Women's Alliance, all of these clubs are going to be a great way for you to get outside of your grade level and to meet more students and to show what else you're passionate about outside of the school walls. There are also fall sports that are happening. If you see something here on this slide and you're like, oh man, I really wish I did that, you can see Coach Rodriguez for more information. So you're just getting started, but this week there are some awesome things already happening. This Thursday, we have our home volleyball game that's going to be virtual versus Washington at 5 o'clock. This Friday, we have a freshman link event at 2 p.m. Saturday, there's a home football game versus Phoenix at Winnemac at 4 o'clock. And then thinking ahead, that club fair where you can start to learn more about all of the awesome clubs here is going to be on Friday, August 10th at 2 p.m. And then yearbook pictures are September 14th through 17th. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you have questions, we've told you about all the different people that are here to support you in our school. So please reach out. Make sure you're reading the newsletter each week. And we're so excited that you are back here. I got all my sisters with me. We are family.
The pepper for the